हरि ओम। शांति मंत्र। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So the first question was how all these beings came into being. This praja. So ima praja kuto hava ima praja prajayant iti. So then the teacher talked about prana and rai. From Prajapati only prana and rai. From this prana and rai itself, all beings are born. Then we come to the second question. This body, what are the various devtas which support this body? कि भगवान कत्तेव देवाः प्रजा विधारयन्ते कतर एतत् प्रकाशयन्ते क पुनः येषां वरिष्ठ इति. And how they and who among them is the supreme. So it was said that Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi, then Vang, Mana, Chakshuhu, Shrotram, that is Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, Manabuddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, Pancha Mahabhut, their devatas support this body. And they among themselves, they started arguing and quarreling and saying that I am the supreme. Then Prana, the senior most, he told them, you don't have any delusion that it is I who support this body. Dividing myself into 5, I take care of this body. But this other devatas did not believe. So prana as though came out of the body. And everyone started following him. Then they came to know, then again he came back and came to know, all the devatas came to know the importance of prana. So they were very pleased with prana and they started praising prana. So this we had seen yesterday. So now from 5th verse onwards, it's a praise of prana. So let us chant the 5th verse. Eshagnistapati Esha Suryaha Esha Parjanyaha Maghavanesh Vayureshah Prithviraihi देवः सदसच्चामृतं च यत्. So this prana is the most subtle power and energy which runs the show of this whole world. So the Rai and Prana, but between Rai and Prana, the Prana is the Mukhya, and it is the one which eats the Rai also, eater of Rai. So the Devatas, they praise ki Esha Agnihi. This prana is Agni, like fire. It is there. All the activities in this world, whether it is physical, biological, subtle, gross, all the activities are made possible because of prana. So even in fire, that prana shakti is there. So Esha Agnihi says this is like fire. Tapati, which burns. Esha Suryaha, that prana is the Surya. So little fire we have on earth, but the Surya is there, the sun, which is also like a huge fireball. So Esha Suryaha, Esha Parjanyaha, this prana itself is, because of the power of this prana, is seen in Parjanya also, in the rains. So it falls down as rain. Maghavan, Parjanya also, rain. Maghavan is the rain god. Indra, Maghavan. So prana itself is activating Indra. And Esha Vayuhu, the Vayu, the breeze. Sometimes we see so much of power and strength in the Vayu. That is also prana shakti. Esha Prithvi, and on earth, the power which holds the earth together, and whatever activity we see happening on earth, that is also because of prana, is prana only. So Esha Prithvi. And Raihi Devaha Sadasachamrutam Chayat. And that prana itself is holding that Rai also. The matter is also supported, is all supported by this prana shakti that we had seen before also. Otherwise all this matter will get disintegrated. It is held together by this prana. So this prana itself is holding the Rai. Devaha, this is the supreme Devata. Sadasachamrutam, which is expressing through both that which has form and that which is formless. Sat here means form, and that asat means that which is formless. Amrutancha yata, and this prana itself is immortality. Amrutam. Like that, all the devatas are praising this prana. Further. Ara iva rathanabhau prane sarvam pratishtitam richo yajunshi samani yajna kshatram brahmacha. Ara iva rathanabhau prane sarvam pratishtitam richo yajunsi samani yajna kshatram brahmacha. This ara iva ratanabhav, just as the wheel of a chariot is held together by the spokes. So the hub is there and the spokes are there, which hold these wheels together. In the same way, the entire cosmos is held together by this prana shakti, ara iva ratanabhav. Prane sarvam pratishtitam. Everything is held together by prana. Even as I said, our body also, all the gross physical body is held together by this prana shakti only. The physical body otherwise will get disintegrated immediately. So just as the spokes, they hold the wheel together, similarly this prana also holds everything together. And in this prana itself, we have all the knowledge. So as I said, this prana is intelligent. So the knowledge is also there in this prana. So prana, this Hiranyagarbha himself is expressing as prana and rai, in which prana is the mukhya. And in Hiranyagarbha, there is knowledge of the Vedas. The Vedas are eternal. And with the creation of this world, the Vedas are also created. Veda means knowledge. So the knowledge is also created along with the creation. So the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, all of them are this prana only. So Richaha is the Rig Veda, Yajunshi, Yajur Veda, Samani, the Sama Veda, and all the yajnas which are mentioned in these Vedas, then the Kshatriyas, the Brahmanas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, all the different categories of human beings, and all other beings also, all of them are held together by this prana only. So, Rucho Yajunsi Samani Yajnakshatram Brahmacha. Further. Prajapatiscarasi garbhe Tvameva pratijayase Tubhyam prana prajaha Tvima balim haranti Yap prane pratitishthasi. Prajapati hi charasi. You are the Prajapati. Prajapati, Hiranyagarbha. Prajapati is this prana. So Mukhya, his expression of Hiranyagarbha is prana only. So sometimes the Hiranyagarbha is also called as prana. So Tvam, you are that Prajapati, the master of all creation. Prajapati charati garbhe, and you alone are born in every womb. So you are the one who moves in every womb. So that supreme reality alone is there as all the beings of this world. Therefore, every being is worshipful and one should have proper respect and attitude towards all beings, because that Prajapati himself has become all. So Prajapati hi charasi garbhe tvameva pratijayase. So being born, moving in the womb, you alone are born as different beings. Tubhyam prana praja tu imam balim haranti. And all the beings, ultimately they bring all the food and everything and offer it unto you. All the senses and other devatas also, whatever is offered is ultimately offered into this prana also. Even when we have this, when we eat, the food goes to this pancha prana only. Prana, pan, vyan, udan, saman. It is, prana is the eater of this food. Therefore, the first, when one eats the food, it is, one should remember that it is being offered to this pancha pranas. Even when one offers this naivedya to Bhagwan, it is offered to this pancha pranas only. Pranaya swaha, panaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. Like that we offer it to the pancha pranas only. They are the eaters of all food. So tubhyam prana prajaha tu ima balim haranti yaha pranaihi pratitishthasi. So all the creatures are held together by this prana only. So in this way, the prana is being praised. Further, Devanam asi vanhitamaha Pitrunam prathama swadha Rishinam charitam satyam Atharvangirasamasi. Devanam asi vanhitamaha. This, you are also the vanhi. The vanhi means fire. Vanhitama means the supreme fire, which when we perform yajna, that all the havi and all is offered into this fire. And when that is offered, that goes, whatever is offered goes to the respective devatas. So prana itself is also like the mukhya agni, which carries the havi, whatever is offered, to the respective devatas. So devanam asi vanhitamaha. So you are the greatest, the superior, supreme, best among the fires which carry this offering to the devatas. So devanam asi vanhitamaha pitrunam prathama swadha. Then there are some yajnas we perform wherein the offering is given to the pitrus, the ancestors, the forefathers. Those offerings are called the swadha. So you are the one who carries this offering to the respective forefathers also. So pitrunam prathama swadha. Just as in our nowadays in our computer world also, so many different types of computers and programs and applications and all of them have come. But all this show of this computer is run by tiny little electrons and all. I think so. Which we can't even see. Similarly, this whole show of this world is run by that prana. So you are the great carrier which takes the offering to the gods and also to the forefathers. Rishinam charitam satyam. You are also the charitra of all these great rishis, their tapas, their knowledge, whatever austerities and whatever sadhana they are doing, the power behind them is you yourself, O prana. So Rishinam charitam satyam. And atharvangirasam api asi. You are also the very essence of all this body also. Angiras. Angiras is one name of the rishi. Angiras also the rasa of this essence of the body, anga. So you are the very essence of all the bodies. So satyam atharvangirasam rasam api asi. So you are the very essence of the body, chief factors of the body. And also the rishis also means that by which we see. Rishi means the seers. So the senses also are indicated as rishis. So you are the one who makes the senses function, the power behind the senses. So in this way, the prana is praised. Further, Indrastvam prana tejasa Rudrosi parirakshita Tvamantarikshe charasi Suryastvam jyotisham patihi Indraha tvam, you are the Indra, the great, the god Indra, the lord of all the devatas. You are that Indra also. Indrastvam prana tejasa, and that tejas among all that is full of who is the lord of all the various teja, various powers, you are that Indra. Indrastvam prana tejasa. Rudrosi parirakshita, you are that Rudra, the terrible god, Rudra, who is the protector of all. So these are the devatas which are mentioned in our Vedas. Rudra, Varuna, Indra, and all those devatas. Later on, it is more simplified. The truth which is given in our Vedas are again simplified in our Puranas. They are made more simple for everyone to comprehend. But in its pure form, they are indicated in our Vedas. So, Rudrosi parirakshita, tvam antarikshe charasi, you are the one who moves in the antariksha, the inner space. In the space, you are the one who moves like the sun. So, the prana itself is the sun which moves in the antariksha, in the space. So, Suryaha Tvam, you are that sun. Jyotisham Patihi, who is the Lord of all the luminaries, all those stars and moon and everything which we see from earth. The most powerful is the sun which we see. So, you are the Lord of all the luminaries and you move in the antariksha. Antarikshe charasi. Further, Yada tvam abhivarshasi Athema pranate prajaha Anandarupastishthante Kamayannam bhavishyati iti Yada tvam abhivarshasi, and when you rain, when you shower down as the rains, Yada tvam abhivarshasi, atha ima pranate prajaha, then all these beings, human being, animal, birds, plant, all of them, ananda rupaha tishtanti, they all of them become very happy. When you fall down as the rain, there is so much of joy and everyone becomes very happy. Why they become happy? Kamaya annam bhavishyati iti. All of them feel that now we will get food of our desire. We will get what we want. So all the beings become happy when it rains. So a lot of food, everyone rejoices. So it is the prana shakti only which causes the rain also to happen. Otherwise, everything will come to a standstill. The whole world, if only the matter was there, without this prana shakti, everything would have been just standing still. Every tiny little thing, the movement is there because of that energy. Without that energy, there is no movement. And that energy, the main one energy which itself is seen in various forms, is this prana. So, kamaya annam bhavishyati iti. Further, vratyastvam pranekarishi-ratta vishvasya satpatihi vayamadyasya datarah pita tvam matarishvanah. Vratyah tvam prana eka rishi atta vishvasya satpatihi. This word vratya means you don't have any samskar. This word can be a bad word for any other person. You are samskarahina, vratya. Why? Because one is that Hiranyagarbha is the first born. There was nothing before him. He was the first to be born. Therefore, there is no need for any samskar. There was no need. He was born pure. There was no need for any samskar. See, all of us, we are born with our own vasanas and all, and we need samskar so that we improve, we evolve, and finally come to recognize the Supreme. So the scriptures talk about some 16 important samskar which we have to give to our children, to ourselves. But Hiranyagarbha is vratya, no samskar required. So vratyatvam prana eka rishihi, you are that one supreme rishi, the great or ekarshi. Ekarshi is also one fire. You are that ekarshi, a fire named Ekashi, and Vishvasya Satpatihi, and you are the master of this whole world. And you are Atta. Atta means the eater of everything. You are the master of this world, and you are that eater of all food. Vayam adyasya datarah pita. You are the father, and we are the one who give you the oblation. All that is offered unto you. And you are the father. Pitatvam matarishvanah. You are also the matarishva, the father of the wind. As Gurudev has translated, O Father of the wind, we are the givers of oblation. Thou art our father. Pita tvam matarishvanah. And finally, the last verse. Ya te tanurvachi pratisthita. Ya shrotreya cha chakshushi. Ya cha manasi santata. Shivam tam kuru motkramihi. Ya te tanuhu vachi pratisthita. Ya shrotreya cha chakshushi. Ya cha manasi santata shivam tam kuru. He says that please, now all the devatas, they are telling, O prana, that make yourself now auspicious. Santatam shivam tam kuru. Please be shant, be quiet, don't be angry with us. Ki you make yourself very auspicious. Ya te tanuhu, your body, make it auspicious. Vachi, that which is there in the speech, that which is there in the ear, in the eyes, in the mind, make that very shant, auspicious. Santatam shivam tam kuru. Ma utkramihi, please don't leave and go. So all the devatas, they realize the importance of this prana, that please don't leave and go. You remain here. So this prana, the life energy which we experience, what we call life, is not the expression of matter. Since in science also they try to find out what is this life and all. And one of the things which they say, it is just the expression of matter. Because of this matter only, arranged in a particular way, it expresses as life. But the scriptures, they don't say like that. That matter is different and life is different. Both of them, no doubt, is expression of that same Prajapati. But life is superior, and life is that which holds this matter together. Life is not the product of matter. Life is the expression of that supreme Prajapati, and which holds this matter together. So, that was realized by all these senses, and they asked for forgiveness. They praised the prana, and they asked for forgiveness, asked the prana, requested the prana to become auspicious and not to leave this body and go. So, shivam tam kuru motkramihi. So, in this way, one more verse is there. Pranasedam vashe sarvam tridive yat pratishtitam mateva putran rakshasva shrischa prajnancha videhi na iti. Pranasya idam vashe sarvam. Everything is under the control of prana. So after this, Devatas have praised the prana and requested the prana not to leave. Now the Rishi continues to reply to that disciple. Pippala, the Rishi, now is replying that thus everything is under the control of prana only. Pranasya idam vashe sarvam. Prana only runs the show of the whole world. Tridive yat pratishtitam. All that is there in the heavens and everywhere is controlled by this prana only. So, the request with the prana is Mateva putraha rakshasva. Please protect us like the mother protects the child. Mata iva putran rakshasva. Shrishcha prajnancha videhi na iti. Please give us Shri, prosperity, prajnam, knowledge. Offer this to us. In this way, the importance of prana is being shown in this chapter. So the question was asked that what are the various devatas which uphold this body, support this body? The Mukhya Devata is prana only. It is the prana which supports this body. So 2 questions are done. Now we come to the third. This is now asked by Kausalya. Ata hainam कौशल्याश्चाश्वलायनः पप्रच्छ भगवन् कुत एष प्राणो जायते कथम आयाति अस्मिन् शरीरे आत्मानं वा प्रविभज्य कथम प्रातिष्ठते केनोत्क्रमते कथम बाह्यम अभिधत्ते कथम अध्यात्मम इति. So now the question is कि this prana which holds all this matter together, which is the main energy, main power, which makes all the activities possible, the very fact that this prana has divided into 5 and then it does the function, that means it is not the ultimate. That which is made up of parts, that which has got many limbs, is not the ultimate. So the question naturally is that from where this prana has come. See, this Prajapati, Hiranyagarbha, himself is also called prana. So the question here is from where that Hiranyagarbha has also come. While replying to the first question, the teacher had directly started from Prajapati only. He had not spoken about the supreme reality. He said that there is Prajakamo Prajapatihi, that there is Prajakamaha Prajapati. That means Prajapati is there who wants to create the world. But from where this Prajapati has come? From where this creator has come? Because this creator also is, though he is very powerful and everything is under his control and all, but he himself is dividing into so many parts, and so it doesn't seem like he is the ultimate. In Bhagavad also the same thing is then said with the help of stories and all, in a beautiful way. Like Naradji approaches his own father, Brahmaji, and he says that you are the most powerful, you are the supreme. And Brahmaji says, I am not the supreme, there is someone even greater than me. Sometimes Brahmaji himself get the Brahma that I am the supreme. Then he comes to know that I am not the supreme. So in a very beautiful story form, such things are conveyed in the Puranas. But here the question is asked by Kausalya Ashwalayana, कि भगवान, ओ my dear Bhagwan, teacher, कि कुतः एष प्राणो जायते, from where this prana has come, from where is it born? Katham ayati, and asmin sharire. One is that at the cosmic level this prana is born, and also this prana is there in our body. We directly experience the presence of prana in our body. And the beauty of this life you experience all the time. Even if there is a cut or something is there, it's life which knows how to cure and how to heal and all those things. We don't know. The intellect doesn't know. The mind doesn't know. The senses don't know. Senses doesn't know. Mind and intellect only know how to interfere with the natural process of the pranas. But the healing, taking care, and all that has to be manufactured in the body, and how and why and how it should be circulated, digested, all these great factors which are happening in our body is the expression of this life only. not of mind and intellect and all. They are very shallow. They don't know much. So the question is, okay, from where this prana has come of such brilliance? What is the source of this prana? And katham ayati asmin sharire, and how it comes into this particular body. What brings that prana in this body? Particular body. And atmanam va pravibhajya, and dividing itself into this 5, prana, panvyan, udan, saman, it was said that it divides itself into this 5. So dividing itself into this 5, atmanam pravibhajya, katham pratisthate, how does it remain? What does it do? Dividing itself into 5, how does it remain in this body? What does it, all these 5 factors do? And kena utkramate, and why, how, because of what does it leave this body? That is also great mystery. Life is mystery. Why a person is born and why a person dies is a great mystery only. Suddenly the prana decides to leave the body. Sometimes the prana decides not to leave the body. So why does it leave and go away? Kena utkramate, and katham bahyam abhidatte, and katham adhyatmam, and how does this prana holds the bahyam, the outer world? You said that prana is there which holds the whole world. Yedam dharyate jagata. So how does this prana hold the outer world? And how does this prana holds the inner world, this body? Please tell me about this. So understood the question? So from where this prana has come, means how is it born? From where it has come? Then how does it enter this body? How does it abide in this body, dividing itself into 5? How does it leave the body? How does it hold that which is outside and that which is inside? So this question was asked about the origin of prana. Then what does the teacher says? Teacher has purposely not said anything about the origin of prana. So here he says, Tasmai sa hovacha ati prashnan pritchasi brahmishtositi tasmat teham bravemi. Tasmai sa hovacha, to that disciple, the Pippala, the Rishi, he said that, oh my dear disciple, you are asking ati prashna. You are asking a question which really speaking should not be asked. First of all, this prana itself is very difficult to comprehend. To understand this prana itself is very difficult. And you are asking how this question about the origin of this prana also. This is a ati prashna which you are asking. Now this is a very important point which one has to understand while studying this Vedanta. See, Vedanta begins with our experience, what we are having now. We experience ourselves and we are experiencing the world. I am the seer of this world and the world is what I see. So from my experience, from where I am, the scriptures slowly and steadily guide me toward the Supreme. So the experiencer of this world In the last Upanishad also which we saw, Aittariya Upanishad, it was said that Ishvara himself has entered all the beings. So the experiencer of this world, that I, is that Ishvara, or I is that Brahma only. The essential nature of me, I, is that Brahma. Again, the world which we see, the world has come from that Hiranyagarbha. So the essential nature of this world is that Hiranyagarbha, but Hiranyagarbha himself has come from Ishvara, and Ishvara is not different from Brahma. So the essential nature of the world is also Brahma. Essential nature of myself is Brahma. So from how I am that Brahma and how this world is Brahma is indicated, and that knowledge is given in the scriptures. With full, not only the direct declarations are there, but in a very logical way it is explained. But the question of how that Brahma has become this world is called Ati Prashna. From the standpoint of the Jiva, the whole thing is explained. That can be understood. But one cannot understand anything from the standpoint of their reality. This is very important and interesting also. One is that once we come to recognize our own self, the whole thing will become clear, the question itself will not remain. The scriptures very clearly say that everything is that Brahma alone. So now when we looking, we see everything, but we don't recognize that Brahma. So we see everything as different. But when we come to recognize that Brahma, and from the standpoint of Brahma, when we look, other than Brahma, there is nothing. Other than Brahma, there is nothing. So the question how everything came from Brahma itself will not remain there. Because the question how everything has come from Brahma will be applicable if there is something other than Brahma. So that question itself doesn't make any sense. Therefore, the scriptures, they don't encourage this question. This is called Ati Prashna. Okay, to understand it in a different way, like for example, I see many gold ornaments. Various types of gold ornaments are there. All of them are of different shape, different size, different names are there, and we can do vyavahar. We can put the bangle, we can put the necklace, and all this vyavahar we can do. Vyavahar we can do because we see all the differences of names and forms. But the knowledge of that all this is that all these ornaments are gold. And when we look from the standpoint of gold, there is nothing called bangle, necklace and all in gold. It is only gold alone is there. From the standpoint of gold, other than gold, nothing is there. Anyway, so the question about how the whole world came into being is said from Hiranyagarbha onwards, Ishvara onwards, we say that everything has emerged. But when we try to from the highest standpoint, when one tries to understand it, it becomes difficult to comprehend. Therefore, the teacher is telling the student that you have asked Ati Prashna. But still he replies. He says that I am pleased with you. and I will reply. Because you are Brahmanistha, you have another meaning of the word Brahma. One meaning is that supreme reality is called Brahma. Apara, this Hiranyagarbha is also called Brahma. And the Vedas are also called Brahma. So Brahmanistha means you have great abidance and nishtha, faith and shraddha in the scriptures, in the Vedas. So you have that faith in the Vedas. Therefore, I will give you the reply. So tasmai saho vacha ati prashnan pritchasi brahmishtosi iti tasmat te aham bravimi. I will tell you, I will give you your reply. So now he replies. Atmana esha prano jayate yathesha purushe chhayaihi tasmin etad atatam yathesha purushe chhaya etasmin etad atatam manokrutena ayati asmin sharire. So the teacher here now replies that this prana, the Hiranyagarbha at the cosmic level, this prana, from where it has come? It has come from the same source from where everything has come. And that source of everything is that Brahma, which is also called Atma. Brahma and Shuddha Atma is the same tattva which is mentioned in the Vedas. This Brahma or Atma is that which cannot be seen, cannot be heard, cannot be grasped, cannot be felt, cannot be understood even with our intellect, comprehended by any of our faculties. It is very, very subtle and cannot be comprehended by any of the faculties. And how do we know that there is such a thing? One is from the scriptures we know, and another we come to know about it by the experience of our own self and experience of this world. We come to know that yes, there is a Brahma. And we also know about that Brahma from the scriptures, or Atma from the scriptures. At present, what we know about the self is the self which is known along with its upadhis. Shuddha Atma is not known. We know the self in the Jagrata Avastha, in the Swapna Avastha, in the Sushupti Avastha, but that Shuddha Atma, which is also called Turiya, which is the Shuddha Atma, which is that Brahma, is not known. So from that Brahma, and this statement is given by the scriptures only. From Atma only the prana has come. It cannot be what you call checked by any of our means of knowledge. See, all these things I am saying, you just keep listening what is there. सुनते जाओ अपने मस्ती से. These are this is the way the scriptures reveal that supreme reality. So Atmanaha Esha prano jayate. This prana, the most subtle, the first born. Sometimes it is also said that it is Swayambhu, it is born by itself from this supreme reality. So Atmana Esha Prana Jayate. This Prana is born from that Atma only, the supreme reality alone. And Yatha Esha, so some example is given to make us understand. He says Yatha Esha Purushe, just as in a human being, in a person, we see the shadow of that person. If he is standing in a particular place because of the light and all, the shadow we see. So shadow is born as though from that person. When you look at the shadow, when we just see the shadow, we come to know that it is the shadow of someone. So just as the shadow belongs to this person and born because of this person, similarly, because of that Atma, this prana is like a shadow which is born. That is the nearest example the scripture gives. So, yatha esha purushe chaya etasmin etad atatam. So, this prana is also supported by this Atma or Brahma. It remains what you call totally supported by that Brahma, and it is born as a shadow is born. It is there. So this prana, then from this, along with that prana, this Rai is born from that Atma only, that Brahma. Therefore, in the scriptures, in Taittiriya Upanishad also, the Brahma is indicated as the very source of this creation. Janmadhyasya yataha. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Yena jatani jivanti. Yat prayantya visham vishanti. So Brahma is that from which all the beings are born, sustained, and again goes back. So Brahma is indicated as the Upadan of this world. So just as the chaya, shadow is born from a person, this prana is also born from that Atma, the supreme Shuddha Atma, which is Brahma. So yatha esha purushe chaye etasmin etad atatam. Then the question was, another question was, that how it comes into this particular body. Why this, how it has come in this particular body. Why it is there in this body. He says, Manokurtena ayati asmin sharire. Now, it comes in a particular body, it identifies, it helps or holds that body together. It comes because of the mind. Because of the mind means in the mind, which also includes our manabuddhi, chitta, hankar, has got this samskar, got vasanas, got desires. And these desires make the prana also help and hold his body together. So we have identified, see, the I, the Atma, is the sakshi or the seer of this body also. To fulfill those desires, we need this body, we have to run this body, we have to function. So the prana is also there, which has come into this body because of the mind. So mano krutena ayati asmin sharire. Or in other words, when we are born with our vasanas, our desires, and that is what we call prarabdha of this body. And as long as this body is there, this prarabdha is there, the body is held together by the prana. And once the prarabdha is over, the prana leaves this body. So manokrutena ayati asmin sharire. So the prana has come into this body because of the mind. Okay, prana has come into this body because of the mind, but how does it function? What does it do in this body? What are the various ways in which it holds this body together? That is now said in the next mantra. Yatha samrat eva adhikratan viniyungte etan graman aditishthasva itteva me vaisha pranaha itaran pranan पृथक पृथक एव सन्निधत्ते. So yatha samrat, just as a king, this prana is like a king. So just as a king, when he takes charge of a kingdom, he appoints the various adhikaris, the various officers. He appoints them and he tells them that you take care of this particular village. So he tells the adhikaris that you take care of this village, you take care of that village, you take care of this function. So in this way, the king, he gives the responsibilities to his junior officers. Yatha samrat eva adhikratan viniyungte etan graman aditishthasva, that you remain in this gram, you remain here and take care of this village. Iti evam evaisha pranaha. In the same way, this prana also, itaran pranan prathak prathak eva sannidhatte. It tells this various aspect to remain in the different department and perform their function. So prana is like a king and he gives the responsibility to his various officers. Means himself he divides and gives the responsibility. Just like a government, then it gives its own power to the ministers and they then do the function. In the same way, the prana, like a king, he divides himself into these 5 and gives each of them a different responsibility to take care within the body. So that is how the prana functions in this body. So let us see how it does. Payupasthe panam chakshusrotre mukhanasikaabhyam pranaha swayam pratisthate madhye tu samanaha esha hetad hutam annam samam nayati tasmad etaha saptarchisho bhavanti. So how the prana takes care of this body. This body is like a kingdom and this prana is like the king. So he divides himself into this 5. Prana, apan, vyan, udan, saman. And then that apan vayu is there. Apan vayu is that by which we eject, we throw things out of this body. That is the job of that apan vayu, to throw things out. But he has to given some place where he can open his office and settle there and have his little cabin and all, and take appointments and all. The poor fellow is given some other place. So payu upasthe, payu and upasthe in the anus and in the genital organ, that is the place where the apana vayu is given the place. You can open your little office here. हाँ, और जो कोई भी आता है उसको बाहर फेंक दो. Anyone coming with any complaint, any inquiry, anything, direct उसको शरीर के बाहर ही फेंक दो, so that no problem. So payu upasthe apanam. So apan vayu is there, the lower end of a body, and it throws things out, which is also required. If we keep on eating and nothing goes out, then there will be total chaos. So apan vayu stays there. And chakshusrotre mukhanasikaabhyam prana swayam pratisthate. And prana swayam, he has got his own office. Prana himself, he remains in the eyes, in the ears, chakshuhu, shrotre, mukhanasikaabhyam, in the mouth, in the nose, nostril. Pranaha swayam pratisthate, he remains himself there. So in the upper part of the body, in our eyes, ears, nostrils, mouth, the prana remains there. Apana, he appoints him at the anus and genital organ. And madhe tu samanaha, and in between he appoints samana vayu. You remain in between. So whatever food which we eat, it is digested and made easy for the body to absorb it by this samana vayu. So esha hi etad hutam annam samam nayati. So it makes everything saman. It equalizes it. Whatever food is offered is made digestible by the saman vayu. Therefore, it is called saman. It is made because it makes it saman. So samam nayati tasmad eta saptarchisho bhavanti. And therefore, this prana also in the above region becomes saptarchisha. Saptarchisha means having 7 flames, as though 7 flames are coming out. And those 7 flames are the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the nostrils, and the mouth. So 7 flames. So prana becomes like a 7 flame on top. And in these 7 flames, also food is offered. The eyes see, the ears hear, mouth eat. And whatever is offered, the saman vayu assimilate it, digests it. Therefore, it is called saman. Clear? Very good. So let us, one more shloka we'll see, or mantra. Haridi yesha atma atraetad ekashata nadhinam tasam shatam ekaikasyam द्वासप्ततिः प्रतिशाखा नाडी सहस्राणि bhavanti asu vyanascharati. Now this vyana, so prana, apana, saman is explained, and this vyana is one which takes the whatever assimilated food and all to every nook and corner of this body. So it is the circulatory force. It takes everything to finest, even to the extreme, like the finest point of our body, to each and every cell. There are countless millions of cells are there in our body. All of them should get food. So everything is properly supplied. It's a beautiful channel and what you call strategy is there of supplying this. So that is done. So Hridhi Esha Atma. Here actually, not that supreme self, but that Jiva itself is there in that heart. Hridhi Esha Atma. And from there only all these nadis, all the channels, they flow from there to every part of the body. So Hridhi Esha Atma, Hridhi is not the physical heart, but the spiritual heart. And from that heart, there are millions of channels go everywhere. Atra etad eka shata nadi nam. First there is this 101 nadis, nerve channels through which the pranas move. Tasam shatam ekasyam dvasaptatihi pratishakha nadi sahasrani. He says that there are these 101 nerves are there, and each of them, they again branch into 100. Tasam shatam ekasyam. Then all of them are again, they branch out into dvasaptatihi into 72,000. Pratishakha nadi sahasrani. In this way, there are this thousands of these nadis are there, bhavanti, and through that vyanascharati, and vyana, it moves through this. So our whole body structure is held together by this prana. It is like a fine network is there throughout our body, which is the main thing. And all this physical thing which we see is just held together by this prana shakti only. Just imagine the number of these nadis. So this mukhya nadi is there, one Sushumna nadi, then there are 100 other nadis are there, then they again divide into 100, and they again divided into 72,000 and all. So many are there. Sahasrani also means not only 1,000 but countless. Fine, just like our blood supply which is happening in our body, it's also those veins and arteries are there, but there are finer capillaries and so many fine things are there which takes the blood to each and every part of our body. But this circulatory system through which the prana functions is much, much finer than even this blood supply. So, through which the vyanascharati, vyana, it moves through this, all these capillaries and all. This is like a lesson in medical science, but most fascinating. And even now, medical science has not understood the beauty of this prana. What they see in the body is only rai, not the prana. So it is not appreciated and understood. Those who understand this prana and appreciate it, they also then treat and take care of this body in a different way altogether. Because the pranas keep the body alive. If the pranas are healthy, the body remains healthy. If all the channels of the pranas flow system without any blockage and without any problem, then the body also remains healthy. Prana is the life. Body is not life. Prana is the life. And prana doesn't die. It just leaves this body and goes into another body. The cosmic prana is always alive. It never dies. There is no such thing called death. It just leaves one body and activates another body. So this is very beautifully presented here. We have seen pran, apan, vyan and saman. But the most fascinating is this udan vayu that we will see tomorrow. Udan. We have 5 minutes. We'll just sit quietly and meditate on this prana. So close your eyes. Focus your attention on your breathing. The breathing is being done by the prana. You are the witness of this prana. The Atma within this body is the witness of the prana. The knower of the prana. You are not breathing. Prana is breathing. So observe this breath. And observe the beauty of this breathing. The great miracle which happens constantly, non-stop. Even when you are asleep, the breathing goes on and on and on. पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।